Michael O'Hare, a man not afraid to call 20 horses bursting straight at him down the stretch at the Curragh in Ireland. He'll call us this race. He'll give us his special jumping knowledge, and here's a bit of it.
Well, I think it's going to be a really great race. There are 12 runners. 3 of them have come from outside the country, 2 from England and 1 from Germany, and the other 9 from the United States. I think they'll provide the glamour, the colour, and the real thrill and excitement that is steeplechasing.
Well, stick with us and see it. The 17 jumps of Springdale are dotted along a course which looks like a snake with an identity problem. None is jumped twice, and their height, a uniform 4.5 feet, doesn't look so uniform late in the race as tired horses and riders see them looming somehow larger. The fences are packed on top with a mixture of evergreen boughs, and a cloud of broken twigs is the only penalty for hitting their upper reaches. In the opinion of those who should know, the first 14 fences will be the scene of strategic maneuverings, with caution thrown aside as the last 3 closely placed hurdles are approached. Then it's neck or nothing, as horse and rider forget about strategy and reach for that effort beyond effort, which is the glory of the thoroughbred.
Steeplechase Rider of the Year. Jerry, what's it like to ride in a steeplechase?
Well, it's quite a thrill. It's hard to explain, I guess, to people who haven't ridden horses at all. But to get on a horse, a good jumper, a beautiful mover, and to gallop down to a fence and for him to meet it right and stand back and air it, it's a tremendous thrill.
I understand that you're an individual who likes a thrill. You like flying aeroplanes, you like driving fast cars. Well, how does the steeplechase riding fit in with all this?
Well, it goes right along. I mean, there's an awful lot of speed involved, a new dimension. I mean, a horse is a bit different than an airplane, not necessarily as push button. They're very temperamental. Sometimes you don't get the response when you step on the gas.
You say horses can be temperamental. Now, how would you deal with the temperamental horse? If you go out to ride a horse that you've never ridden before and suddenly he gives you the feeling that he's not keen on jumping, what do you do about it?
Well, it depends. Usually early in a race, you'll be very quiet with him. Let him jump a couple of fences, get a feel, see exactly what he doesn't like about it. Sometimes if you annoy a horse, you chirp to them, or you even maybe reach back and hit them, they don't like it. You have to wait until they meet a fence properly, and then you have to give them a bit of encouragement, a little squeeze, a little chirp, or say, good fellow, or something like that.
And they believe you?
Oh, yeah. They better, or you fall.
You're back in Ireland as a flat race rider. How come you changed from the flat to the jumps?
Well, as I got older, I got a little bit heavier, and I got a few schools overhauls when I was with Mr. Colonial, and I really enjoyed it, you know. So I carried on from there.
Do you prefer the jumping to the flat racing?
Yes, I do now. You know, every jump you go over, I get a kick out of it, really. It's a different game, different lads. It's much more casual, really, you know. And yes, I do prefer it to the flat.
You were going great guns in the Jockeys Championship last year, and what happened?
Last year I had a good year, really, and just about Christmas time I broke one collarbone, and I had a good finish to the season. I had a good season all out.
But the breaking of a collarbone, that's one of the great risks of a steeplechase jockey. Does it worry you that going over every fence, well, you know, you might get a knock?
No, not really. If you start thinking things like that, it's time to pack up.
See, Pigeon, you've won several good races with him. How do you rate his chance?
Well, everything going well for us and everything going right, we've got a great chance, you know, but it's a lot to ask. He's never jumped fences before. He's only jumped over hurdles in England. He jumps them very well, but green fences over here, and he jumps through them a little bit. He might lose a little bit of time over the first couple, but I think he'll be okay.
Jonathan Shepherd trains Colonial Cup here at Camden, and we've got a brisk field. Number 1, letter A, is Cafe Prince, Augustin Stables. Trainer Jonathan Shepherd. Jerry Fishback rides and carries 162 pounds.
Cafe Prince won this race 2 years ago. No horse has ever won it twice in history. Can it be today?
Number 2, letter B, French Hollow, represents England, Irish bred. Augustin Stables again, Jonathan Shepherd again. John Cushman rides, carries 160 pounds.
French Hollow likes to go out in front. This was a good winner in France and in England. Could be useful today.
Number 3, letter C, Leaping Frog, Charles Ford Stable. Jonathan Shepard trains, 146 pounds, which represents Bruce Christensen.
Well, only a 4-year-old, and it's asking a lot to try to win this race, but he has been third in the American Grand National and in the Temple Guathme.
Mrs. Miles Valentine owns Down First, number 4, letter D, Burley Cox trains, and Michael Morris rides and carries 160 pounds.
Probably the outsider of the two of the Miles Valentine colors, but has won 2 of his last 5 outings.
Mrs. Valentine's second horse is number 5, letter E, De Coup. Burley Cox, of course, trains, and the well-known Tom Skiffington has 160 pounds.
Well, this is the winner of the American Grand National at Fair Hills, and as such must be greatly respected in this test today.
From Germany comes Fokker Unemann's number 6, letter F, Romping to Work. Adolf Rink, an amateur, rides another 160-pounder.
Well, this is a versatile one. He won in England, he won in Ireland, and now he's won 4 steeplechases in Germany. Could be a useful one, a mystery horse today.
Number 7, Naval Person, is scratched. Number 8, letter G, is one of the favorites. The White Horse Fire Control from Woodcrest, trained by J.R. Fisher. Al Quanbeck rides a top weight at 162 pounds.
Well, at top weight, he was second in this race last year, and he'd be coming from way back behind. He likes to run from well back.
Number 9, letter H, is Mrs. Michael Walsh's Craig's Corner, trained by Michael Walsh, ridden by Michael Walsh III, a family horse, 162 pounds.
Yes, indeed, the grandson riding for the grandparents. This one third in the race last year. He hasn't done a great deal this year, but recapturing last year's form could be a force.
Number 10, Sea Pigeon from England, letter I. Miles Easterby trains, John Joe O'Neill rides, 162 pounds.
Well, Sea Pigeon, a class hurdler in England. He's won some very good flat races as well, and if he can master these American fences, he could be a force coming from back behind.
Number 11, letter J, is Beverly Steinman's Belle Iman. Mr. Foot trains, Doug Foot is the rider, 151 pounds.
Well, another one of these 4-year-olds. There are 2 4-year-olds in the race. A tough task for him, but he did win the Temple Guathme.
Number 12, letter K, is Dosdy's. Won a lot of races for Mrs. Donald M. Culver, and Charles Fenwick Jr., an amateur, rides and carries 162 pounds.
Well, this is the timber horse, the horse who has won 8 of his 9 runs, and he certainly can do it over timber. Can he do it over the bush fences? That's the problem.
Finishing the field, number 13, Happy Intellectual, letter L, Mrs. Ogden Phipps's Joe Aitchison, the veteran, rides, and 162 pounds on him, too.
And the 11-year-old, well, he's trying for the 3rd time.
And that's your field.
The $100,000 Colonial Cup of 1977. Any moment it'll be on its way. Here's French Hollow moving into line now, out towards the outside, out to the left, where Down First is already out there. Down First dancing around a little bit there, and coming back now to join the others in the center of the field. Happy Intellectual towards the center as well. And Dosdy turned a little bit sideways, but they're off, and losing a little bit of ground at the start was French Hollow. Sea Pigeon has dropped in at the end of the field. Romping to Work is the leader, and Romping to Work leads with Craig's Corner, and now Dosdy has gone up to share the lead as they go to the first fence, and it's Dosdy, Romping to Work, and after that comes Craig's Corner, then Happy Intellectual, then Far Control, Belle Iman is next, then Cafe Prince over that fence, and they all stream over it all right, but French Hollow loses a bit of ground at the tail of the field. Going to the second fence now, and it's Dosdy the leader. In second place is Romping to Work. Craig's Corner is third. Happy Intellectual is fourth. Then Belle Iman. After that, Cafe Prince. Then along the inside, De Coup. On the outside, Far Control. Then comes Down First, then Sea Pigeon, and the last 2 are French Hollow, and last of all is Leaping Frog as they come over this next plain fence, and they're stretching over it, and they're all standing. And the leader is still Dosdy as they go into the turn now towards the 4th fence. Dosdy by about 2 lengths. In second place is Romping to Work. In third place, about a length back, is Craig's Corner. In 4th place is Happy Intellectual. Then Belle Iman. French Hollow has made good ground, and after him is Cafe Prince. And the faller there is Down First. Down First is the faller at the 4th fence, and as they turn now towards the 5th, which is the one before the stands, it's Dosdy still up there in front, the timber horse out there in front. From Germany in second place is Romping to Work. From the United States on the stand side, Craig's Corner, who has moved up now to take second place from Romping to Work. Happy Intellectual is over on the far side, but as they come now past the stands, that's Dosdy the leader, Craig's Corner, Romping to Work, Happy Intellectual, French Hollow, then Belle Iman. After After that, Cafe Prince. After that comes Durku. After Durku, the Grey Fire Control. Then Sea Pigeon moving quite nicely. Last but one, and last of all is Leaping Frog. They're going now to this next fence, which is the one past the stands. Fence number 6, and it is still Dowsey the leader. Just the leader on the outside with Craig's Corner on the outside. All together now as they go round that turn and head towards the next fence. And as they go towards this fence, it's Dowsey the leader, Happy Intellectual moving up well along the inside. Craig's Corner is second on the outside. Romping to Work is in 4th place. After these come Bell Iman, who made a bit of a mistake there. So did French Hollow. And now as they stretch out and go towards this next fence, which is 10 from home, they've got 10 fences to jump. Dowsey is still the leader. That's Dowsey in front of Happy Intellectual. And then in 3rd place, Craig's Corner. Romping to Work is a good 4th, just in behind these now. And the Grey Fire Control is back last but one. And last of all is Leaping Frog. And beginning to improve a bit from the end of the field is Sea Pigeon. They've got 9 to jump. And it's Dowsey still the leader. Craig's Corner is 2nd. Happy Intellectual is 3rd. Bell Iman is moving up now in 4th. In 5th is Romping to Work. Cafe Prince is making a bit of ground. French Hollow made a bit of a mistake there. And Sea Pigeon has moved up right behind the leading group. Fire Control last but one. Leaping Frog last of all. 8 fences to jump now. Craig's Corner takes a narrow lead. Dowsey is 2nd along the inside. Just in behind these, the German Romping to Work and Happy Intellectual still well in contention. And then Cafe Prince making ground. Over this one, Craig's Corner is the leader. Bell Iman moved up on the outside is 2nd. Romping to Work is still well in contention in 3rd place. Dowsey comes next. After that, Happy Intellectual and Cafe Prince. Then Durku and Sea Pigeon together. Then comes Leaping Frog. After Leaping Frog, Fire Control. And last of all is French Hollow. Going to this next fence now with 3/4 of a mile to go. And Bell Iman leads from Romping to Work. Craig's Corner dropping back now is 3rd. In 4th place is Happy Intellectual. Then Cafe Prince. Durku making ground steadily. Dropping back 2 is Dowsey. Sea Pigeon making ground again. As they go now to this next fence. And as they go over that, Bell Iman has taken a good lead. Bell Iman by about 4 lengths from Romping to Work, who is about the same distance ahead of Craig's Corner. And after that, and improving, is Happy Intellectual. Then Cafe Prince. After Cafe Prince, Leaping Frog. And also Sea Pigeon. Over that fence now. And Sea Pigeon is a faller at that one. As they turn into the street now with 2 fences to be jumped, it's Bell Iman, the clear leader. And Bell Iman well clear of Romping to Work. And Cafe Prince making some ground. And also Leaping Frog. As they come now to the second last with just over 1/4 of a mile to go. And that's Bell Iman out in front, and Cafe Prince is in a challenging position in 2nd place. Leaping Frog has made good ground on the outside, and Romping to Work is still in touch. Over the last, and little between these, Bell Iman on the far side, Cafe Prince in the center. And as they race on the flat now, it's Cafe Prince on the near side, and he's coming on. As they race to the last 100 yards, it's Cafe Prince with Bell Iman on the far side. Not an awful lot between them, but enough as they come to the finish. And Cafe Prince has won. In 2nd place, Bell Iman, then Leaping Frog. In 4th place, Romping to Work. Then Durku, Happy Intellectual, Craig's Corner, Fire Control. And the last 2 to finish are French Hollow and then Dowsey. Well, that was some race indeed. The fallers, Sea Pigeon, who was going quite well, came down at the 3rd last. And a faller out on the far side before the real battle started. Well, when the contest was only half on, as it were, a faller was down first. But the winner, and a good winner, Cafe Prince, who has made history by becoming the first horse ever to win the Colonial Cup twice.
Irony dictated that one of the jockeys we interviewed, Jerry Fishback, won the race, while another, John Joe O'Neill, who laughed at danger, broke a leg. Mike Morris, the other faller, also fractured a leg, but one suspects that when the casts come off, the boots will go on. Now, the 8th Colonial Cup is official. The time, 5 minutes, 22 3/10 seconds. Now...